Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Buzz with Bernadette. As usual, we're talking reality TV, and today we're recapping the last 2 episodes of Married at First Sight. We're really getting down to the pointy end now. You know, the people that aren't genuine or that have no genuine connection are definitely leaving the show, and the cast members are getting smaller. So it's really getting down to the pointy end. In one way, I'm kind of feeling like, you know what, I'm a little bit over it, and I'm over the bullshit because, you know, we've also heard all the spoilers, like who's with who, what's happening, or, you know, sort of who's with who. We've got very strong hints of what is going on and what's not going on. But yeah, so in one way I'm over it, and in another way I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? You know, because we have this show, what is it, 4 nights a week, maybe 5 nights, 4 nights a week for so long, and we're already up to episode 27. So yeah, you just form this attachment and this bond with a show that then you just have to leave all of a sudden. So anyway, now first I want to start off with, I've got some notes here because I just watch the show, I take my notes all the time because so much happens. And then what will happen is I'll jump on Instagram and then I'll see sort of like a spoiler or a spoiler alert or another podcast of, someone else covering it. And I'll go, is that true? Did that really happen? And then I'll have to deep dive into that, take notes before I forget, etc. So forgive me if I refer to my notes all the time. Now, I saw something yesterday. Look, we've got a lot of drama unfolding about Jamie and Dave, who seemed like the perfect couple, and I was just so excited for them and that they found each other and stuff like that. And then I kind of knew that when they did the partner swap last night, I knew that would throw a spanner in the works. And I thought to myself, if I was on that show, the girl I would want my partner to be partnered up with the least would be Veronica, because I guess she's just, you know, she's young, vibrant, beautiful. And yeah, so if you're going through a bit of a weak patch, fortunately, as Jamie and Dave were, he got Veronica, and, you know, he didn't look mad about it. He did not look mad about it. I think you could tell their chemistry, the way they looked at each other, the way they shared jokes, the way they communicated. You could just tell they definitely had something together. I'm going live on YouTube at the moment, so hi to everyone on YouTube, and thanks for showing up. Yes, we are talking Married at First Sight Australia, so it is so good. We're loving it. So let's digress. Okay, yesterday I had a guy around my house to spray. I've got a huge ant problem, right? Very random little topic here. He came around, he said he is a massive maths, junkie. Loves it. Watches the show all the time. He comes, never met the guy before. So he starts talking maths to me. He goes, so is Jamie pregnant? And I went, what in the hell are you just telling me? And he goes, yeah, my son told me before I left home, Jamie's pregnant. And I'm like, what? What is going on? So then I did some research. Anyway. So this is one of the biggest rumors flying around at the moment, that Jamie is pregnant. So everyone's been talking about it. There's no official confirmation yet, but Jamie has been super vocal about wanting kids, even saying, I definitely want to have babies. Sign me up for that minivan. During a family lunch where their parents playfully pushed the baby agenda. But let's talk about that TikTok moment where Dave posted a video, which is very cheeky, with the title Exciting Pregnancy Announcement. Okay, now why would he do that? Why would he do that video unless maybe he's having a baby with someone else? I don't know. Anyway, fans instantly jumped to conclusions, and add to that a wave of TikTok posts under the hashtag Jamie Maths pregnant. Of course, why wouldn't you? And it's easy to see why people are convinced she's expecting, but at this stage, it's all speculation. Is there a baby on the way? Only time will tell. Yes, drama. There's so much drama in Married at First Sight Australia, and it just keeps getting better and better. But yeah, so let's go on to Veronica and Dave. As we said before, is something going on? Look, I think most of the guys would have been happy to be paired with Veronica, but look, fans noticed the chemistry, and honestly, so did Jamie, because, you know, obviously when she got back home from the partner swap, she was, you know, asking him the hard hitting questions, and very simple questions though, like, you know, do you have feelings for me and stuff like that. And he could not answer clearly. And yeah, and I think it's a pretty basic question. But yeah, so behind the scenes, photos surfaced of Dave and Veronica looking very cozy after filming, sharing laughs and deep conversations. It got to the point where people started wondering if this was more than just an experiment. And you know what got me with Veronica is that, like, she got home to Elliot and she was so happy to sort of like go, well, Dave did this, Dave did that. And he goes, well, how do you want me to be more, you know, like attentive? I don't know. And she goes, just like, well, it's quite simple. Like, you know, if I'm having dinner and you go, oh, would you like cheese with that? Can I get the cheese for you? Like, I think girls see it like it's not that hard. But I guess some guys just maybe don't have that inbuilt in them, or they tell us they don't have that inbuilt in them. Who knows? Yeah, so anyway, it's got to the point where fans have started wondering if this was more than just an experiment with Veronica and Dave. And so some of the fan theories out there is that some believe Dave might actually ditch Jamie for Veronica. So what do you guys think? Do you think that's what will happen? Just from the things I've seen on Instagram, I don't know, it could go either way. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, is there more to the story? We need to find out. Yeah, so, okay. Now, I wanted to also find out what other Australian podcasts are saying about Married at First Sight. So there is the Maths Funny podcast by Joshua Fox. He's calling out the show's direction. Now, this is going to get really huge out there. I sort of thought to myself, once this first came out, is it going to take? Are they just going to brush this under the carpet? Or there's an opportunity there for this to get really, really big. So he's calling out the show's direction, suggesting it's crossed a line this season. I think it's crossed a line every single season. We saw Jackie on an Instagram reel yesterday saying that they're not allowed to take their mics off, even when they're going to the toilet, and in her words, to take a SHIT. She goes, they will not let us take the mics off. They want to listen. They want to hear everything, which I think that is really pushing it too far. I think that is just awful. There's Maths Official Podcast. Now, this is run by Shelley Horton and John Aiken, one of the experts. They're giving exclusive insights straight from the experts, but I'm thinking to myself, if John Aitken is part of it, how authentic and genuine is this going to be? Because at the end of the day, these people are doing what they're told by producers, etc. So you're only going to get the stories out of that podcast that you are allowed to hear. I feel like you're going to get real stories from people in the front lines, you know, the cast members, their friends, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, and if you guys want a visual recap yourself, you can always go to YouTube and check out Married at First Sight Australia Season 12, Week 6 live recap. Okay, so that was the latest on Jamie, Dave, Veronica. But I think now we have to go to, where are we going to now? Let me find myself. Okay. this is where we're going now. One of the most unexpected blow-ups, right, of last night's episode was Paul and Karina. Now, up until now, they've been the golden children, right? They have been getting along perfect, living in lovey-dovey land. And of course, you know, they did the partner swap, the experiment, and Paul got partnered with Athena. So we casually find out that Paul actually dated Athena's twin sister, Cleo, 2 years ago. So up until now, I don't know why they never let us know that. I don't know why, but they sort of have casually mentioned it here and there more recently. And of course, they paired Paul with the twin sister of his ex-girlfriend, Athena. And of course, that just set Karina into a spin, right? She was just like, oh my God, no, I can't handle it. My religion, I'm all about loyalty, la, la, la. And look, I don't blame her. It would have sent me in a spin as well. Yeah. So anyway, so then they get back from their experiment. And once again, I don't think Paul was in a hurry to get back from his time with Athena. I think he really enjoyed it. And I think it gave him the opportunity to get a lot of things off his chest, and maybe he got too many things off his chest about Karina. Anyway, so, and I think Karina just had like, you know, a pretty steady time away. Nothing exciting really happened with her. But anyway, as part of feedback week, the couples were asked to write letters to their partners expressing their honest thoughts on their relationship. Now, this sounds very simple, right? But wrong. We have Paul, clearly not thinking this through, decided to include a comment about Karina coming across as a bit of a snob. Now, we see him in the footage last night, and I just watched him, and I found it really quite hilarious because he's reading the letter to her word for word, and it gets to that word snob, and the cameras black out every single word, and all you can see is the word snob. And he's going, yeah, I think sometimes you can be a little bit judgy. And he comes up with the word judgy. So he just brushes over it, and we move on with the show. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So instead of reading that part aloud, he hesitates, clearly realizing how bad it sounded in hindsight. But Karina, being sharp as ever, noticed and asked him to read the whole thing. Anyway, let me tell you, her reaction was priceless. The moment the word snob, well, what happened is I think he had to go away and film with the crew. And then they must have said to her, hey, Karina, make sure you read this through. She's there with her smirky face, reading it through. And she was pretty let down. She was pretty upset when she came across that word. She was not having it. She clapped back, calling his comment unfair and hurtful, saying that she's just a confident woman who knows what she wants. Paul, in full damage control, tried to explain himself, saying he meant it in a good way. But is there a good way to call someone a snob? I don't know. But Karina was clearly hurt, and the energy between them now has shifted. And I do think she said, I don't know if we're going to be able to come back from that. Or maybe that was Jamie. But social media is in two camps. Some are siding with Paul, saying he was just being honest, while others think he completely misread the assignment and should have known better. Because what Karina said was about Athena's sister, Chloe. And when Karina found out that Cleo, when she found out Paul had dated Cleo, she goes, I didn't think like she was your caliber in a condescending kind of way. So that's what Paul was sort of like going, wow, you know, who does she think? She must be a bit of a snob to say that. Also, another thing he said to her is like, don't you remember one time I wanted to take you to a cafe or a restaurant or something, and it wasn't a fancy restaurant. It was just a normal restaurant. And she was like, oh, you know, I don't really want to go there. And so he felt like, oh, isn't that a good enough restaurant for you? You know, so he kind of did feel like she was acting a bit snobby. So I don't know. There are two camps. Who knows? So we'll see how that develops. Next up, we've got Ryan and Jackie, who've been butting heads for a while now. I just think they're a complete farce. But anyway, things get more complicated. And during their letter exchange, Jackie made a bold suggestion. She basically said Ryan should consider being a stay-at-home dad. I don't know. I just think she's always going to pick something with Ryan. He's never going to be able to put a foot right. She's always going to pick something with him. Give me more compliments. Be a stay-at-home dad. All this kind of stuff. So let's set the scene. Ryan is a hardworking guy. He's in the stormwater industry. And from what we've seen, he's pretty traditional in how he views work and family roles. So when Jackie brought this up, you could see the frustration in his eyes. He felt completely belittled, as if she didn't appreciate his contributions. Instead of handling it calmly, he snapped back, saying that just because he earns more doesn't mean he should just stay home and do nothing. This led to a full-blown argument, surprise, surprise, with Jackie insisting that she wasn't trying to insult him, but was just thinking about their future. Ryan, however, wasn't buying it. He shut down the conversation, stormed off, leaving Jackie sitting there looking both frustrated and regretful. So this brings up interesting debate. Should income determine who stays home? Or is it more about personal choice? Yeah, so let me know your thoughts on that one. We've got a little bit of a debate going on YouTube here as well. So now let's talk, Jamie and Dave. Let me see, Jamie and Dave. We did already touch on this, but their relationship is lacking the spark now. And it's funny, isn't it? Because Jackie came from she was top dog. She was coming from a high. And I think, honestly, the minute she decided to clap back at every single girl in the group because of Lauren, I don't know. It just seems like her magic spell just ended, because I was all in Jackie's corner. And then as soon as she did that, I got the ick. I feel like everyone got the ick, and things haven't been the same for her. But during the commitment ceremony, Jamie put Dave on the spot, asking him outright why they haven't been intimate. This wasn't just a casual question. She was clearly emotional, and it was obvious she felt rejected. Dave looked completely caught off guard, admitted that he struggles with sexual expression, and that their lack of intimacy wasn't because he wasn't attracted to her. He just has trouble showing it. Jamie was visibly upset, and the whole situation was painful to watch. Some viewers sympathized with Dave, saying he might just be shy or dealing with past trauma, while others felt like Jamie deserved someone who was excited to be with her. Having said that, though, I did some diving, and I read that Dave had actually applied for F-Boy last year or last season and got turned down. And then Endemol Shine approached him and asked him to be on Married at First Sight. This is what I heard. And when you hear something like that, it has made me see Dave in a completely different light, because I was like, he's so such a good bloke, such a good guy. What a catch for her. That's great. I'm sorry, but a guy that applies for F-Boy, I'm just automatically thinking, well, then he is an F-Boy. I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay. So let me just go through this. I think we're pretty much done. Yeah, because that's apparently, okay. We've got a little bit of that drama, but I'm a bit bored of this. When Ryan dropped Jackie on the dance floor, I'm over that. I'm bored. But it does go on to say that Ryan did beg producers not to air the footage. But of course they did, because, of course they want to get that storyline out there. And this moment added to the growing tension between these two, because it still does keep popping up, I guess. First the stay-at-home dad, then the give me more compliments. Now it's not looking good for Ryan. But anyway, there you have it. These were the wildest moments from the last 2 episodes of MAFS, Married at First Sight Australia. What did you think? Were Paul's comments too harsh? Is Jamie in the right to be upset with Dave? And will Jackie ever let Ryan live down the dance floor fail? And will she ever just let Ryan live in peace, to be honest? Let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to The Buzz with Bernadette. Share it with your friends if you think they'll like it, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. See you later.